What's up, guys? How's everyone? Hi, Jabba. Hi, Tanisha. Hi, Chirag. Who else is here? Hey. कैसे हैं सब? It's so boring outside today. Like, typical. Comment and pin it. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Hi. How's everybody where you guys are? How's Delhi? How's Mumbai? What's going on? Like I said, it's pretty like typical London weather right now. Really gloomy, boring. Wait. Thanks, Chigs. Anybody back to work? What's acting, modeling like back in India? Over here, it's slowly opened up. The restaurants and everything are going. Like, masks everywhere though. So, how's health? Same. Standard, Chigs. Hospital में छुट्टी मना के आती हूँ मैं. We're just waiting for... I know, I saw... Miss you too, T. We're just waiting for Rajvatan. He was on live on his channel, so he should be coming on here, hopefully. We'll just give him a few minutes. रेंट पे पैसे नहीं है यार. तुम पैसे दे दोगे तुम्हें पक्का रेंट पे लगा दूंगी. कम से कम पैसे तो आएंगे हमारे. दूसरों को रेंट पे दे सकते हैं. Over here, self-tests and some shoots with precautions. Yeah, I heard that some people, it's basically like cut down to like 3 or 4 people per shoot, which is crazy because India shoots are all about the big, huge glam. नहीं पक्का नहीं आते अब दिल्ली. अब कहीं LA में बैठे होते हैं अभी. वही, where is Raj? Still on his live most likely. We'll give him a few more minutes. हाँ क्यों नहीं, वहाँ पे किसी अच्छे से स्क्रिप्ट राइटर को अपना स्क्रिप्ट लिखा के पढ़ा के शॉर्ट फिल्म बनाओ, Chigs. I'm telling you. And Rajvatan is finally here. What up? So I'm just going to wait for this one to send me a request and we'll go. Kabira! कैसा है तू? उठ गया? ओहो
Hello जी. How are you, ठीक-ठाक? किवें?
बढ़िया. तू सुना?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Not bad. How about you? All
You
good?
look dapper.
Well, I try to be. It's just something. I just try to stop it. Stop it. But yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that I know you.
It's alright. I know. It's fine. But yeah.
Okay, so this is React. I'm Jasmine. You are Rajvatan.
Yeah.
So let's get to it, guys.
Um,
I know, right? Ashuli or
Actually, yeah, that's
Ashuli?
my.
Modest the in big cap, this guy.
Just had to, Yeah.
So we have Raj. He's our first UK Sikh model. He does poetry. This guy bhangra. He models. He is also an actor at the moment. So this guy has big things in that time when he's working as well. So ਸਿੱਧਾ ਸਾਦਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਹੈ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ
Oh, you don't need to. You're not supposed to say that, or at the end of all the introduction you give. Yeah, that's fine.
the best intros. Okay, I'm going to be serious. You're keeping it real. But I've known Rajvatan, I think. Let me see. Do you remember the first time I met you?
Yeah, of course, 2016.
2016 when?
Exhibition, doing the exhibition. It was, I think, I was like on one of the stores, and I think you were.
I didn't know if you were going to remember that. You were so quiet that first time when I met you. The ball day, you were just like so serious. I was like, okay, like.
No, I treated it like being at work, so I was just quiet,
Yeah.
and I was just like.
Most of us, we treat it like, party time.
Yeah, no, I mean, like everyone has a different way in it. So, like, me, just in general, like that's just.
You were so serious, and then the second time I met you, it was like a 180. It was so like opposite. And I think the funny thing about when we met was they called all the models, and I was there like in my glasses normal, and this guy he was looking at each other for like 10 minutes, voice breaking. Give me. Can you guys hear me now? Everybody else on live? Yeah, no.
Right. Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So the two of us, we were just sat there, and I think it took us like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they didn't even realize we were there.
Oh yeah. I think they were trying to call my name, right, at something like that, and then.
Before that, the two of us were outside. They called them
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, what's going on?
Them? No.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were trying to call people in and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think I remember when we went inside the room as well. I think I must have been sitting in the corner, and they were calling for Raj, and then I was just not. I didn't hear it or something.
It was a different one. So yeah, he's not here.
Yeah. He's not here. I think I was reading a book. I was reading a book at the time.
Yeah.
And I realized.
Your head in a book.
I tried. But yeah, no, it was good though. It was good. First meeting, I pretty remember very well. It was with I think I was walking around the exhibition, and I think I was with other Raj as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us. I think we must have come across.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
And I actually have a very vague, like sort of like a very clear memory of that exhibition as well. It was very interesting as well. The first exhibition there, like I think I didn't know how it works. So talking about just that exhibition itself, I don't know how it worked, about the fact that there's casting for ramp walking and stuff like that. So with the outfit I was wearing, I just turned up backstage. I was like, can I get a chance to like go on ramp and stuff? They were just like, wait, where are you from? Like, what? Yeah, sorry, wait, like, huh? Like, who's the designer and stuff? And I was just like, what? I thought if you're modeling, you can just go. But they were just like, no, there's like casting and stuff. And I remember very specifically like looking at all the models and stuff. And then at that time, I told myself like, next year I'm gonna make sure I'm on that stage. So
you did it.
And yeah, next year that's what happened. Yeah.
And people went nuts about it. Like I remember walking at the first show that we did, and they were like, "Oh, this is Sarkar Munda. Like, I've never seen someone." All the aunties were like, "Oh, it's cute, but lagda hai." I remember I had one auntie go, "Biba lagda hai, Sarkar ya Mona nahi yaar." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, no, it was it was definitely a good experience in general. Like I think what made it more sort of I think what made it stand out was the fact that it was the first Sikh to do
Yeah.
it, the first Sardar to do it as well. And I think Mani Singh, obviously the organizer, he gave that breakthrough, and then it was really really supportive of him as well, like giving that platform as
Obviously,
well. So it was yeah, no, it was really really good.
we
Yeah.
don't see a lot of stereotypes in fashion at all. With Asian industry, whether on a platform, I think the most that we can probably think of is Varus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, Vardis is like
Top
aesthetically, he's like almost like a god figure for me, man. Like when I look at Vardis on Volio, I'm just like,
blown.
he's like when he obviously came up with the well, even though he was in the industry before the Gap um, um, ad that he did and the campaign he did for Gap, even
Yeah.
though he was in the industry before that as well. But I think that kind of like it just blew up like this, it went up the sky and stuff, and like he just sort of put like Sikh face on world map as models and stuff
Yeah.
in a very in the I think in the most not just stylish yet traditional way as well. I think that's what made it even more like it kind of gave a lot of us a belief like not that at that time I thought I would do modeling because when I first came across that I didn't think I was going to go into modeling anyway. That was like it was I think 2010s or something around early 2010s.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about that much, but like
Grab you on that one. So.
yeah, so there was a lot of controversy on that, like obviously having hand on his pocket and stuff. But that's all I remembered it being. But for me, it was more about the fact that like he's made it. Like he's there now. His face is there, and that face is representing many people around the world.
Yeah.
But saying that, it depends as well. Like not all the models. I'm not talking for him, but like not all the models tend to do it for the community. They do it for themselves, which is always a good thing as well, because you obviously want to put yourself first. But that moment in itself, like it gave so many people like a sense of belief, like that was.
How did it make you feel when you saw like there's like a guy
I
who
was actually like, my face was like, whoa, like.
did you fangirl?
Sorry.
You fangirl inside like a.
I do. I fangirl even now, man. Like, I'm almost going red right now talking about him because he is literally like one of those guys that I genuinely consider as. He's not. He's not like a. He's not just a fashion model. He's almost like a role model even outside the fashion industry because intellectually he's very very like like stimulating.
Very well spoken.
Yeah. Even the incident that happened when he was coming from Mexico, like for New York, I think like that kind of like again showed the fact that he's not just a model. Like there's a very stereotypical view of models in general that they have no brain or something like, or they intellectually they don't know, they're not like stimulating.
Rajvatan is guys. All those books. I need this guy, this model. He has a dog. He has a brain.
I tried to have one, for sure. I tried to have one for sure, but like na crowd that can any ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਯਾਰ ਦੋਸਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ
ਨਹੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ You were actually born in India.
Yeah, so I was born in Patiala, in Punjab, and dad was in like he was in government job. He was in government service and stuff, and because of that, I've never really stayed in Punjab. I transferred from one city to another every year. So every single academic year basically was in different city. So first I was in a town near Indore, in Madhya Pradesh. From there I went to Rajasthan. It was another town near Kota, and from there I went to Bhopal, again Madhya Pradesh, and then from Bhopal we came to New Bombay.
Okay.
That's where my sister was born as well. Was that?
Navi Mumbai.
Yeah, Navi Mumbai. Yeah, Navi Mumbai. Yeah. So Navi Mumbai is where I did my 5th standard. And
Where?
then,
Do you remember?
it's near Panvel, so like it's called Uran.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, the town name is Uran. That's where like I did my 5th. Yes, actually, Navi Mumbai. And then, so basically, yeah, so that's where I did my 5th standard.
Yeah.
And from there, I came to Punjab for a year because my father decided to come here first. So 1 year he spent on his own and stuff, and then me and my rest of the family, we went to Punjab I was with my grandparents, and that's what that 1 year. So 6th standard was in Punjab. That's where I studied like Punjabi. I got to learn Punjabi then as well. Before I could only speak and write Hindi and English, but
Oh,
then yeah, I didn't know Punjabi, but I could speak Punjabi, but I never really knew how to write or read the script. So yeah, after that we came here. Then yeah, that's it.
So how do you feel like that affected like the way you're upgrading? Because in India, everybody is Bollywood mad. They have this obsession with the entertainment industry, with modeling, with being on the parda and being known and seen by everyone. So how do you feel like that affected the way you look at it? Because obviously here, London, we don't have the same obsession. Even people who are born here, like they don't really, not all of us like Bollywood. I mean, I like Bollywood, a bit of a typical Asian, but not everybody does. Some people, they just can't stand it. So where did you have that kind of connection?
When it comes to Bollywood itself,
Just the whole entertainment.
oh, entertainment. Thing is that I think from entertainment aspect, I was always involved in some sort of like some sort of arts and craft stuff, like at school. So performing at stage was something that I always wanted to do, and I always used to get like sort of good buzz out of it. Like whether if it's getting attention or whether if it's just showcasing my skills.
Right.
So because I trained in classical tabla in Bhopal, and then I used to perform that in India as well as when I came in school here. And then
As well.
Sorry?
I learned tabla as well.
Oh right. Wait, so how long did you learn it for?
Only for about a year.
A year?
I used to school and then I learned harmonium. I was at Gurdwara girl.
Yeah, see, I look like one, but I'm the opposite at the moment.
I know.
But yeah, no, so basically, so that's so showing the art side of myself. That was something that was always within our family as well, because my granddad, he's into Kirtan and he sings and stuff.
Right.
Like I've got like there's huge influence of music at home, music and arts in general. So because of that, I think I was always in touch with something to do with music, even if it's not acting, let's say.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what kept me connected with like keeping up with everything that was happening in Bollywood or music around the world in general. So because of that, then I just sort of just kept on going on, like practicing my skills and crafts and stuff. And then from there, modeling wasn't something I had thought about. Like I just kept on doing my studies and kept on practicing on the side and stuff and performing. I used to do like doll gigs as well, like at weddings and stuff as well. I was that typical high school kid. Yeah, typical high school kid. Me and my good friend Dipinder, like me and him, we used to like go and literally like pocket money, like weekend literal like small little couple walk. Yeah, you get £100 for it. That's it. You're sorted. And and then you go down Hausa High Street and spend all that money on clothes and stuff, and that's it.
And then you're waiting for the next one, like.
Yeah, that's it, literally. But like that was the life at the time. But the thing is that like what I'm trying to say is that with that, being able to perform in front of people and having that presence in general, like that was something I always had in me. Like I wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
This is one fact probably. I don't think I've shared it with you as well, but. During sixth form, so during year 12 college time, I wanted to be a music producer. Like that's literally what I wanted to do. Like make music.
Right, though, because like it just fits. It's why am I not surprised?
No, I know, but like as in the thing is that not a lot of people expect that in general, like because until they know my music background. But the thing is like when I
Stuff. Did you actually do that?
No, so I did make music. No, I did make music at that time. Like, but it's not. It's I don't know where it is now. But I used to make music at the time. But like I used to make beats. I used to record tabla. I used to record Dhillon and put beats around it and stuff like that. But then I think when I went into sixth form, my direction just changed. Like my because there was sound engineering involved as well.
Yeah.
Sound engineering ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ number ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ math ਨੂੰ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ math ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ literally I was just like no okay math ਵੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ math ਛੱਡੋ ਮੈਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ then I just literally thought all right cool like this is not something I can do now and then because I was more into practical than theory so I left then after that I picked so I was in psychology right thinking that always psychology karanga te nale main psychiatrist ban janga yeah that's what I said to myself yeah literally like I was like yeah and I watched Bulbuli at that time as well I was like actually come on man that's the job I want to do and then, it looks so interesting I was like yeah that's the job I want to do and then after that like literally I thought to myself yeah I can do it then when I spoke to my head teacher she was like you have to do medicine for that I was like that means science basically that means all three science I was like definitely not happening then I took path into social sciences because I had done sociology for GCSE then that was always interesting for me sociology was a subject that has actually changed me a lot in many ways so when I picked that and then literally from there it got into me doing politics so I studied politics at university from yeah so from music to literally yeah so from there I went to doing politics because politics interested me a lot and during that time so I think around 2012 2013 politically a lot of things were happening around the world and I think that's what like kept me interested in the subject as well and then I had then I read about the biggest inspiration for me Bhagat Singh who had studied a lot of things which I was studying in school in sixth form and then that's when I was like okay well this must be quite important right so that's why I started studying more and more into politics and sociology and then I took the degree when I was doing the degree I thought I'll go into teaching but second year university or I think first year so 2014 end of 20 so start of second year is when I got my first ever modeling project, which I did not consider as modeling project, but I was just like,
Yeti, he's off limit. Leave our Sardar alone. You in the comments going crazy.
जी मेरी engagement तो मेरी हो गई है तो महीने हो गया कोई नहीं it's fine
because so I'm waiting
so basically from there 2014 so that end of year basically there was one of my good friends Rajvatan Singh he recommended my name to one of his friends who was doing photography degree they just wanted a Sikh sorry
this is in London or
yeah this is in London so Hertfordshire University so Hertfordshire University so she was her name is Manpreet Malli so she was doing a degree in photography and she just needed a Sikh person to sort of show culture in one of the projects and when I just went there I thought okay cool I'll just go there take my traditional clothes like I was asked to bring smart kapde and kurta pajama and stuff I was like yeah man like why not I like dressing anyway so I'll just go and do it and then from there that day I remember like the whole shoot was happening I was like this is nice but it's tiring at the same time but it's cool like it's chilling you're not doing much I'm being directed what to do and stuff so I literally just gone with it last shot of the day was like came out to be the good shot like it came out to be the best shot of the day
okay
that shot when I had put it up on social media and even the photographer when she had shared it as well like I was getting good response from that and people were like that's a really good picture and stuff and even my parents are very supportive about it as well like my family in general
important
yeah it is very important when your family Like, I'm not even joking right now. Just before, like, I had come online, like, my dad was, like, helping me, like, setting up the room and stuff. He's like, oh, man, I can, like, he literally, like, he shared the link to everyone, like, oh, follow my son, like, he's going to be live today and stuff. So he's, like, he's always like that. Like, that's the best thing about, like, my parents as well. Like, they have been very supportive about any work I do. Like, even my mum as well, like, she does, you know, she's always, like, you know, happy with it, things that are different, and I'm trying something new and stuff. So yeah, anyways, so going on to the project, so when that happened, that's when it was like, then I thought to myself, like, I mean,
Maybe.
it's nothing, it's just, yeah, people are liking the picture, cool, that's nice, it's I mean, I like it as well. But
Yeah.
then you
Oh,
literally, like, but the thing is, I didn't think much about it. It's just after, I think, like, second or third project with the same photographer, um, she, like, kept on doing it. Now I kept on changing stuff as well. Then I started so before going to the shoots as well, she used to ask me, like, have you got any thoughts in your mind? Do you want to do any concept that you want to cover?
in the whole,
Then when I started researching, sorry.
you started getting involved in the whole creative process.
Yeah. So I think when I started getting involved into the whole process of how to do the shoot,
Yeah.
rather than just turning up at the shoot, I think that's what made me more intrigued, and that's what interests me more.
Yeah, I agree.
I think sometimes what happens is with models who are just probably starting up, is that when they just turn up and do the thing as said,
Yeah.
it's fun for you. You get, like, depending on, obviously, if you're fitting the look, yeah, then obviously you will be happy with what you do. But I think being part of the process or understanding the process makes it more fun. And
Yeah.
when I started doing that, that's when I was like, you know what, like, this is actually quite fun, and why should I not just? And people were supportive as well. So when I started doing that, then I was like, okay, this is something I should sort of think about even more. And then friends were really supportive as well. They were like, you know, like, it looks good, and you know, like, you need to take it a bit further. And I think 2015, the year 2015 went, and then I had taken, so then after that, I was given another project by Dhillon, on Sikhs in World War One. Yeah, so, like, when I did stuff with him, he was like, yeah, you definitely have potential and stuff. So, you know, when you hear sort of same similar sort of stuff again and again with a lot of people, and it makes you think, like, well, do you know what? If people around you have so much belief in you, then why don't you? And why don't you have belief in yourself? So
Yeah.
then that's when I sort of came India, worked with photographers there, and that's when I understood, like, all right, cool, like, something can be done. And then that's it. And then from 2017 was the time when I went to India to do a project with one of the photographers in Delhi.
Yeah.
His name is Harmeet Sana, and he was like, that day, like, I actually learned how to model because he literally molded, and he like broke me to pieces by telling me, like, is this, like, literally when I first, the day started, he was like, यार कैसा फेस बना रहा है तू, यार क्या कर रहा है, ये क्या है? I was just like, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And then literally, like, I was just like, okay, maybe not, I guess it works differently. But then he that day he crafted me, and kind of like he you know, when you make a sculpture, like, he did proper digging, and he formed, like, what I've started to be, or what I am right now. And that day was, like, tiring, definitely tiring. I remember, like, it was a long day. I did, like, did about a good 5-6 outfits that day, and yeah, my back was, like, broken by the end of it.
Oh my God, was your body aching? That's how.
Yeah, body aches every time you do modeling shoot. Like, I mean, you get used to it after some time, but then, like, definitely at the start, that day I was aching. I remember, like, didn't really charge like it. I literally went back to
जगह मिल रही है सॉ जाओ.
बस मैं ना होटल गया, मैं नाल ना पै गया, मैं बस करो यार, हुन नहीं हुंदा मैं. And then that's it. And then from there, when the shots came, I was just like, all right, okay, cool. Like, this is something that's literally, this now is going to change things up for me.
Yeah.
And And the stylist was Sahil Gulati from Delhi as well. He was really good as well at the shoot as well. Like he helped in a lot of ways, gave tips that he could and stuff. And then when I came back to England and stuff, I then did the shoot with Diljit Dosanjh for elsueno video.
Yeah.
And,
because I remember I was just looking at it randomly. I'd seen the behind the scenes, but I didn't twig which shoot you were on. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's not Bunda.
yeah, no, yeah. So again, like it was one of my best friends as well. Like same guy, Nonihal. He's the one who actually pushed me to go India and shoot there. So he went with me, in fact. And then from there, like even when we came back, he recommended, like he spoke to he knew the guys who were doing the production stuff. So he must have spoken to them, and I then obviously sent my portfolio to them as well. Then they had asked me to come to Sajjansinghrangroot. So it was mainly for the movie, but I'd gone there as an extra. One day I spent there, and it was decent. It was nice. But the thing is that like obviously working full time, it was a bit hard for me to just take days off and just go. So then after that, when they had asked for someone that could be part of elsueno, they had sent me the sort of proposal and stuff, and then I went to the shoot. It's 2 days of shooting with the Dosanjh, and it was really, really fun. It was good fun.
This is another thing I wanted to ask you. So you've done like some pretty well-known projects, but like you work at the same time. So for everybody who's in India who's watching now, in the UK, you don't really model full time or act full time unless you really kind of like hit it. We work at the same time. Like I know when I was in India, that's all we did, us, and you take on production times, but nobody actually works like time at the same time as modeling. So over here, you have a job. Like, how do you balance along with everything?
Balancing, I think. I don't know. I think it comes from you being able to focus. If you're focused, I think health is something that plays a massive part.
Yeah.
If you want to balance everything out, it comes down to how healthy you're keeping yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean by health. I don't necessarily mean like working out hours and hours. I think giving yourself time is what I mean by staying healthy. When you give yourself time, then you can think through everything and be able to break down how you're going to prioritize things on a day-to-day basis. You do set yourself long-term goals. That's something very important for you to do anyway. Like you should have long-term goals, but you should always expect the unexpected.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When you don't do that, that's what sort of shatters your confidence, or like even you being consistent with what you're doing. I think that's why. So I think like when it comes to balancing, although I do know for today I'm going to be doing this, but at the same time, if for example something happens during the day and it doesn't go accordingly, then I just sort of let it be. Saying that, I am stubborn. I like to get things done as planned. But like, I think when it came to when I first started modeling and studying, that was just about prioritizing days and stuff, like when I can shoot, when I can't shoot. So at that time, it wasn't because as a student you've got a lot more time on your hands, and like you don't need to be worried about like, oh, I need to be. If you're not working, then you've got more of a time, and especially if you're getting grants, then you don't need to worry as well. Until you start working, actually pay that loan back. But yeah, so literally, like I think when it comes to that, so like when it comes to you being student, I think it's easier to work out your timings and stuff. Yeah. But when it comes to full-time work, it depends on who you're with. I'm quite fortunate. So the school where I teach, they're very, very not flexible, I would say, but they're very understanding of my work. They are like understanding. Sorry.
Which is really lucky.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's really fortunate the fact that they understand like I do this full time as well as obviously I'll be doing teaching as well. But they're very understanding and they're very supportive as well. Actually, like a lot of teachers, a lot of staff, a lot of my colleagues, like they even a lot of students as well. Actually, they really are supportive of the work I do and stuff. And before I joined them, I did inform them the fact that, like, you know, I'm outside the school, I am a professional model and everything. I'm into arts and stuff. They were very supportive about it since day one. I think that's what kind of helped me to stay sort of concentrated on this path as well at the same time. Had it been a group of people where I was working where they were like very like almost like aimed about the fact that you can't, no, sorry, you can't get, like, you can't go, or you can't have your profile on public because of certain policies and stuff, then it would have been definitely like difficult. But being able to give myself exposure on social media without any sort of restrictions by the people I work with, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of restrictions, we come under this kind of, the industry we're in, it's very much based on stereotypes. And right now, in the last 5 years, we've gotten plus-size models, more differences, people who look different, hijabi models, kind of becoming more common in Western, you know, part of the industry. How do you find that? Like, Fashion Week is coming up just literally in a month.
Yeah.
And, like, have you gone to any castings? Because BAME, like right now, you've got with this Black Lives Matter, people are saying that, you know, you've got a lot of black models who are having opposition away from them. But when I look at the lineups for auditions, when I look at the lineups on the runway shows, I don't see anybody who like represents that. In the BAME aspect of it, I feel like it is just kind of lost. I don't see, like, you know, a lot of Sikh models. I don't see Asian girls, Bangladesh, Tamil, you know, that kind of thing. So what do you feel like about that when you go for auditions?
I think in regards to representation of BAME people, a lot of it depends whether if you fit that look, like if you fit that look or not.
Yeah, of course.
If you're not fitting that look, then you're not really taken on board. It is, I mean, even within our own Asian industry as well, like, you know, the fairest looking people are given more of a priority. You know, like there's an underrepresentation of even different color complexion and different sizes as well.
Yeah.
Like there's more. It's mainly about fair looking, slim, or like tall. You know, like there's no sort of representation of all types of different physicalities.
Yeah, I agree.
Looks or size. So I think looks and size is a big key thing. But when it comes to from a Sikh person, like from being a Sikh model and stuff, or like Punjabi Sardar model, I think even with us, it comes down to whether if we are able to sort of execute what's required. Yeah, there is an underrepresentation of how many Sikh models there are. But there are individuals who are making that change now. So like one of them is Karanjit, for example, Karanjit Gaba. He's like, you know, he's making that wave of going into London Fashion Week. He's doing projects which are, he's done GQ as well. So he's like, he's making that change. He's bringing that sort of like a new wave in modeling industry that's making, in Western modeling industry mainly, right? Yeah. And even I myself, like having worked with different brands and campaigns and stuff, or magazines, it's putting out there, like, you know, there is a community called Sikh as well. And they do have people, you know, who can be represented.
Because we get so many, I don't know if you remember the Gucci campaign from, not the campaign, Gucci show, where they had all of the Caucasian models who were wearing kind of like Western imagination of what it to be. I don't know that.
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I did a BBC talk on that as well. So twice I'd spoken about that issue on BBC. One was on radio and one was on their for their Instagram. But the thing is with that, like what what I do understand for turban as a concept is very is very wide, like, because turban isn't really exclusive to Sikh people.
Exactly.
That's one thing people should know. One.
We,
Second thing,
but
yeah, but the thing is, it's the way it's represented as well. Like, if you can get, thing is that if it depends, because if that is the kind of turban Gucci wants to sell, then that is the turban Gucci wants to sell. But if the brand was trying to go for a turban which is more authentic in the sense that it was more exclusive, let's say a Sikh turban or the style, then yeah, it will be much more fairer for them to have a Sikh model doing it for them.
yeah,
There's different ways of going about it, because I think a lot of people consider the fact that, like, oh, it's a turban that's exclusive to a Sikh. It is. For a Sikh, turban is exclusive when they wear it. But turban is cultural in many different cultures. So it's you have turbans in Middle East, you have turbans in like even South Asia, South Central Asia. Like, you have turban. I mean, there was a whole revolution in China on turban. It's called Yellow Turban Revolution.
yeah.
Right? It was 1,000 years ago, but it happened. The point is, turban it's not exclusive. It is definitely exclusive for a Sikh when they wear it, but it's not exclusive to just Sikh. So I think that's one thing that we need to first clarify. Second thing is the fact that like I said, so if their intentions were to show a Sikh turban, then that should have been modeled by someone that was Sikh.
Have you faced anything like that kind of we want a model but not you because of your look? Have you ever gotten that?
I mean, I just consider it more of a blessing, I would say. If I don't get something, that means it's not like that means I'm not fitting that look, right?
But
If
like, have you ever had refuse it to you on the basis, well, you're Asian, or well, you look different, not because you couldn't fit the role, but more because you don't fit what the expectations of what a model will look like.
I mean, up until now, no, nothing like that has happened to me. But I mean, like, the thing is, see, I wouldn't know. Directly has not happened. Maybe behind my back it has, because obviously I've casted and stuff, and I've been to castings and stuff, and then over there, I'm not sure if they had looked at it and been like, we don't need him because he doesn't fit the thing,
Yeah.
or like he doesn't look like a model, or we can't have a Sikh person, sort of thing. So I wouldn't know about that. It could be the case. There are possibilities for everything, so that could be possible. But directly, nothing like that has happened till now.
That's,
Forget it. पता नहीं होता कि नहीं कोई कह दो मुंह पे. We never know, but yeah, up until now it hasn't happened. But I wouldn't be surprised if it has, unknowing, like, without me knowing. So yeah.
that's possible. 'Cause, I mean, when I came into the industry, I was 18, so I'm 20 here. Okay. And when I came in, I was bigger. I had a lot of baby fat, definitely really curvy. And I applied left, right, and center. So when I applied to agencies, like proper modeling, I got that, told this girl, she's Indian, she won't do X, Y, and Z. And it was like, it was being decided for me. Plus size models weren't really a trend. Right now, everybody's on this whole self love your body vibe, but we didn't have that. So I've seen it, and I see it again, like you said, on our Asian shows as well. They don't anybody who breaks out of the mold different. They want someone who's the whole stereotype, someone fair. They want someone they don't want somebody, because that's breaking away from what they know.
Yeah.
It's similar, I think, even in India's acting industry, because from what I've seen, they don't like different. There is a set figure that they expect for modeling. It's still very old school, supermodel vibes. So they want those tall, A-frame, straight figures. And when it comes to commercial, they don't mind if you're caviar, but dusky models, who looks a little bit, exotic, as it were, they're good for, but when it comes to commercial, like we're seeing this trend where they don't want, you know, mainstream dusky actresses or actors. They don't want anybody a little bit. Right now, we have one Sardar looking individual in the industry that's Diljit, and you know he's done some serious roles, but other the roles we've taking from now are angry Sardar or angry Punjabis, or we got the lucky jolly Punjabis, but neither of them has a brain. They just do. They don't think. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think in that sense, it is. There's many doubts whether if the type of character which is casted as a Sikh person is that, have they been mindful, have they been thoughtful about it, or they're just doing it because they're going with the stereotypical view, you know, or they're just trying to have just a character. There's so many you can have so many speculations around that, but I feel because the trend has been most of the time that either they're angry or they're jolly, it does seem like a lot of them do cast people to be Sikh character simply because of the stereotypical views. But then you have certain regional actors who are breaking that barrier. So, for example, Diljit Dosanjh, who obviously was first a Punjabi singer, became Punjabi actor. Now he's part of the Bollywood as well industry. But one thing I do know that is something I actually heard him saying in one of his interviews, that, you know, when he was asked the question like, how do you feel like as a Sikh person as wearing a pug, you'd only be exclusive to certain roles, like, or you'll be short and you'll be playing certain roles.
Yeah.
And he said he actually answered very intelligently as well. He said like that, he goes, that's a good thing. He goes, because if I do less roles, people would see my stuff more. If I do every single role, then that will take the speciality out of my work.
Makes them exclusive as well.
Yeah, it makes them exclusive because it's like, okay, Sardar actor, we know who to go to now. You know, like that's the best thing about it, and that's why I've never seen. A lot of people would consider pug as weakness for them,
yeah.
Or like they'll be like, you can't do everything. Yeah, that's because I don't want to do everything. If I do everything, I only want to do things, and when I do those particular projects, that's what's going to make it special because it's a Sardar person doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's why, and that is something that's changing. It is slow, but it's changing. That's for sure. Yeah, you have mainstream actors who are wearing pagga for characters, like you've had Ajay Devgan, you've had Salman Khan, you've had Saif Ali Khan as well. Like you've had all these actors, you know, in the past who've worn pagga.
Yeah.
With respect as well. It's not like they weren't playing characters which were bad. But the thing is that it's more about then that way not a lot of raw talent comes through.
Yes.
Because
Also,
there's many regional Punjabi actors who are capable of, like, you know, achieving heights. That's if they are able to execute the roles on mainstream level, then I think that's what's going to make a real difference.
okay. Just seen like a few pop up, but one of the questions, Gerard, it was you who asked it. Doctor Who, we've got like the first female face in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So like, and then we even had I don't know if you remember, Yesterday, the movie.
Okay.
There was another main lead male in that. So in those kind of projects that are through, we've even got The Suitable Boy. He come up with a whole series, and it's an all age. You've got, I think, is in there, Tabu is in it, and it's the first time they've ever done an all Asian like cast, South Asian cast. So you've got some of these productions being built. I think, especially from someone as, you know, well known, well respected, because they're such an institution in terms of, like, it sure puts a bit of a, okay, we're accepting that we have different faces, we're accepting that there needs to be a bit more of a diversity. What do you think that to the audience?
I think, well, as in, are you saying how should that, if like, how should the audience?
That kind of stuff is being taken on by, because for us actors or us, it's great. Like for us, it means there's more scope for us. There's
Yeah.
space for us to come in and bring our craft. But for the audience, it's actually being taken on by them. Do you feel it's being well received, or do you, you know, there's still a lot of work, because sometimes the roles are really simple, but the audience love it. But when you try to give them something new, do they, you know, do they take that? Do they not?
I think the youth right now is has got a better eye for the appreciating the new art that's coming through, the new entertainment. I think it's more the older generation, which is not really molding its perspective on accepting new talent or new type of approach towards entertainment and films. Because I mean, like, it's something that's, it's a very typical explanation, but a normal working class person in India, right? They don't want to go and see their own conditions in cinema.
True. It's escapism.
It's yeah. So it's about escaping what they are already and seeing and fulfilling their motives by looking at big superstars on screen. Because those 2.5 hours, they're living that life whilst watching it.
Yeah.
And that's why, as a cinema, like, we are not able to progress, or like we are not able to like sort of accept the fact that, okay, yeah, you know, dusky looking people should be, you know, involved as well. I think in that sense, people like Nandita Das and Anurag Kashyap, they're very big on that. They are the one on the mainstream level who are making that difference.
Yeah.
Because you have, you know, if you watch Manto, for example, Nawazuddin Siddiqui's, like, in that you have a lot of dusky looking people.
Yes.
That's with her production in nearly every single movie.
Yeah, she like
yeah,
representation, that this is
absolutely
what like.
Yeah. Even like the touch, so the filter she uses for her movies, yeah, on screen is very dusky as well. Most of the movies that she's done,
like, or I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bit of an orangey kind of.
Yeah, like dark-ish, orangey, sort of grey a bit. But like, it's the point is that she's, because obviously she herself, you know, is her skin complexion is very like, it's not typical as like, you know, seen on screen. So she's different in that sense. So that's why I think she's very supportive of that, and that's why she does that. And even Anurag Kashyap as well, like from the days of when he made Satya as well, like from that time onwards, like he's been very sort of big on showing movies or like scenarios or even characters which are not typical look for the audience. And I think it is coming through. It has been coming through. It's like I said, it's more the younger generation which is more supportive of web series like Patal Lok. Like that, you know, that series itself is been a massive hit, and then on top of that, Sacred Games as well. Like these kind of web series, they're making that change, and then you have She, and then you have like a lot of regional actors are coming through who are not fitting that typical look, and then the youth are appreciating that because they are interested in, they're more interested in content. I mean, I think I could be saying that simply because, like, I don't know.
No, you're right. I think you are, for sure. But it's what people want to see now. It's quality and quantity. Before it was just keep hitting out movies, hitting out, you know, stuff that we could watch. Now it's like we want to use our brains a little bit. What we
like like the thing is that, like, moving in Bollywood industry in general, or even let's say the Hollywood industry in general as well, like it's been, Hollywood industry has tried to experiment a lot of times. So has Bollywood. The problem is about that Bollywood industry, ever since like it was experimenting, like they've always had movies, you know, from back in the days. Like I'm talking about during Pankaj Kapoor time. During Pankaj Kapoor time, you had like there's one movie called Ek Ruka Hua Faisla. It's like 12 men in one room trying to decide whether to punish, as jury, they're trying to decide whether to punish this one boy who's been accused of murder.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
movie is all of it is in one room. The whole movie, yeah. And you don't see.
Pollywood. Well,
Yeah, 12 Angry Men. Yeah. 12 Angry Men. Yeah. So
I'm
like,
gonna cut you because I'm a little bit wary of the time. It's gonna cut us off.
Chica,
3-4 minutes
that's fine.
of
That's fine.
this discussion, but I'm gonna have to cut it short.
Yeah.
I have one last thing. It's the emoji game. So it's gonna be Punjabi Gane, and we're gonna do it fast, okay? I'm literally.
I'm not ready for this.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds for each one.
Wait.
Are you ready? Yeah, drink your pani. I'm gonna have. We're gonna time this. Okay. Are you ready?
Go on.
I'll give you hints if you need it. If you need it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let's see. What have we got? Ooh.
Wait, Sardar clip.
Yeah,
Sardar clip.
Sardar clip. What other word for Sardar? 5, 4,
Sardar clip. Get out. Wait.
2.
I told you I'm not really good at this. Who is it? Oh, Jaddi clip. Okay. Well, that's wrong. You need to have a farmer emoji there. You
Huh?
can't have.
Farmers ki hunde hai, jatt hunde hai.
Yeah, but like no, but Jat to सारे पासे होते हैं all over India, but it's fine. कोई नहीं.
Okay.
That's a banda closing the door.
Yeah, but
Door
basically
नहीं खोलनी.
pushing the door.
Okay, pushing the door.
Yeah. Door
Give me another hint.
door ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਖੁੱਲਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ
Kunda.
ਨਹੀਂ
अच्छा तक्का.
hey
Okay.
well done.
Right.
Okay, getting okay. Here's my camera. This one again. I'll give you a hint. The guy is Jat. Okay, this is the baby.
Jat the baby.
Almost.
Jat the no. Jat the pot no.
Yeah.
Pot the
Jat the put.
Okay, pot the jatan. That's what I said.
Close enough.
Fine. Chalo ठीक है.
That one. Okay.
Baby.
Okay, you need to get this one. It's imperative. One.
एक मुंडा सोचता है कि कुड़ी सोचती है सरदार वाले.
That's not relevant. It's just what they're doing.
सोचते पे सोच.
सोचने रात ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੌਂਦੇ ਆ ਸੌ ਕੇ
सुपने नहीं.
Now find a different language for it.
सुपने ख्वाब.
Different language.
Dream. और क्या होता?
Oh, you dream what? You've done this one. You should know it. Punjabi song.
Oh, elsueno.
Hey.
अच्छा यार एक ये यार तुझी.
And there's a munda right there. Oh, okay. Rajvatan, thank you so much. Everybody on the comments, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. From the whole of Twitter. Wish you all the best with your journey. Always like up behind. And wish you so much love.
Thank you. Thanks for having me as well. It was really fun talking to you as well, and everyone else that was watching as well.
Sorry it was so short, man, but I could go. You know that.
That's the same. funny नहीं है मतलब.
कुछ ना पैर नहीं आएगा बस बोलते ही जाओ.
नहीं हो दिया. चलो.
Chal. So much. Again, say thanks to Uncle. We really appreciate helping.
See you. Okay.
Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Bye.